You could hear the wind howling across the ocean, and the taste of the wine and the buzz still in my head. And the only wildfire was burning right beside me. And we had us a night I'll never forget. She was a 1960s Beach Boy song, and been living that dream all night long. Yeah, and that California sunrise, and that California sunrise, she took me to heaven.
Auto Club Speedway is the premier motorsports facility in Southern California, built on the site of a former Kaiser steel mill near Fontana in 1996 to 97 at a cost of $100 million. The track has 84,000 permanent seats and is home to a NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series race each spring. Constructed by Penske Corp as a clone of Michigan Speedway, the track was originally known as California Speedway. It was later purchased by ISC, which subsequently sold its naming rights to the Automobile Club of Southern California in 2008. In addition to a high-banked oval, Auto Club Speedway features several road course configurations, which have been used for sports car and motorcycle races, as well as an infield track used for testing purposes. Given its proximity to Hollywood, the track has also appeared in scores of movies, television shows, and commercials. But tonight, it's the Auto Club Speedway 125. It's next on HBR TV.
So much more like nothing I've ever seen before. And that California sunrise, take me on back.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Auto Club Speedway. The only way you can see it now is here in the iRacing Sim. There's deconstruction efforts underway and potentially a future short track. We'll see if that comes to fruition, as some would call it. Taking a look at the race details tonight, 86-degree ambient temperature, 20% humidity, nice and dry. Partly cloudy skies, rather breezy though at 13 miles per hour. Track temperature, 114 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, race distance, 75 laps this evening, 150 miles to make it to the end. 65% fuel load with one set of tires over the wall for the drivers to work with. Qualifying just about ready to get underway as practice coming to its end. We'll jump into that in just a moment. Of course, Alfie Charon fastest thus far, a 40.88. Zach Millett, teammate, 40.90. Some notable conversation, 2 one-race suspensions this week. Michael Tucker and Jason Blaney feeling the wrath of the principal's office after actions last week. They'll sit out a race, and a closer eye be put on both of them for the remainder of the season. Take a look at the point standings for this evening. Zach Millett up about 41 points over Drew Blaze. John Tiller there in third. Chris Goins, Johnny DePasquale, the top 5. Looks like Zach Millett actually first to the racetrack, so we'll go down trackside, follow the action. Interesting by Millett, working the tires down the back straightaway to try to build some heat, thus build some tire pressure. Matt Crockett jumping into the chat says 32-ish laps on fuel. We have talked to some drivers tonight prior to qualifying. 32, as much as 36. Some drivers able to stretch it that far, but you're going to lose a lot of pace in doing so, but it is possible. Millett again. He's going to throw away this first lap here. Millett off turn 4. We'll see what he throws down here for this lap, but lap 2 is definitely going to be faster. Zach was still trying to build air pressure in those tires down the backstretch. Bill at a 41.302, second quick on his first lap. Goins fastest with a 41.24. Josh in the chat says, "Are you covering us on Monday nights?" Well, I don't know who the Josh is. There's only a first name. And as of right now, I'm still covering the IROC Challenge Series until their season wraps up. So fill me in, Josh. Maybe you know more than I do. Meanwhile, Joe Tucker goes top of the board for a moment, but not for long as Millett knocks him off a 40.62. Johnny DePasquale out there, the number 42. Johnny out of Silver Lake, Wisconsin. And apologies, still having issues with this overlay occasionally at the start of the session. Kind of wants to act a little funny on me. Oh, real loose, the 42 off of 4, sends it into the grass. That's not the best way to go about it. Drew Blaze banging off the chip into turns 1 and 2. Trying to get this overlay squared away. And it's better, but not perfect. So we watch Nathan Line, number 38. Oh, it's Caleb Sisk. I'm not sure still what series, unless you're running IROC. They're not done with their season yet. IROC gets wrapped up here in the, about mid-June. I think June 10th is the final race of the IROC Challenge Series on Monday. So unless that's what you're running, I'm going to say probably not, unfortunately. Zach Millett atop the board still with a 40.62. Joe Tucker second quick. 40.69. Nathan Line across start finish here. Wraps up this lap. Does it count? Doesn't look like it has, so unfortunately, Line, 2 invalidated laps, likely due to some contact. Drew Prale in the 80. Already got some stream chatters. This is kind of early. I like this. We had Landon Jones in here early. Of course, Matt Crockett filling us in with fuel. Caleb Sisk talking about Monday nights. Matt Sisler says this should be a fun one. Shame I can't be there. Sandra Nielsen, let's go Johnny D. Johnny D. Pasquale. Prale runs a 41.43 on his first lap. Crockett runs a fourth quick time. 40.900 on his second lap. Oh, that's fast. Crockett with a good run here. Puts himself in the top 5. Brian Rose fifth with a 40.92. Drew Prale picks it up with a 9.04. He now sits inside the top 5 for the time being. A couple drivers still not taking a lap. Sean Roberts, Josh Kelleher, Scott Beardmore, Dana Shepard, but PJ Cox is on the track. PJ Cox real loose off turn 4. Got to the power just a little early, and around she goes. Is he going to line this up again? I'm not sure. Was this his second lap? No. So PJ may go back to the pits here and give it another go. He never crossed the line, so I think he'll still technically have 1 lap to get in. We got Caleb Sisk asking, who's the younger kid from Nashville? What's his name? I'm not 100% sure where the Tuckers are from. I think they're in Tennessee. It could be Mike Tucker. Unfortunately, he was suspended for one race after actions last week. BJ Cox way up the racetrack. Big time lift, trying to keep it out of the wall. BJ really wound out fourth here. Keeps it up top of the racetrack here. We'll see how he gets out of turn 4 here. That's where he had problems on that first attempt. Keeps it straight this time. Let's see what kind of lap time he gets out of this. '16th quick, 41.484 for PJ Cox. It did him well to go back out there and give it another go. Josh Kelleher out of Springfield, Mass, number 37. Kelleher sporting the Fat Chick sponsorship as well. We got Lisa in the chat. She just says, watching. That's all we can ask for. Younger kid from Nashville with the honest interview. Yes. That's the kid. Parked him for a week, and I think Jason Blaney got parked for a week as well for the post-race retaliation. It wasn't severe, but those are the rules, so that's what we go with. Looking through the driver information, looks like Josh is a Ryan Preece fan. Hashtag Preece Lightning. I'm a Preece fan myself. .41.899 for Kelleher on lap 1. That's not going to do it, but lap 2 should be faster. .24-car field here tonight. Kelleher clocks in 19th fast for now. I would expect a pickup here on the second lap. Most of these guys tonight throwing away that first lap. And that might be the session, so Kelleher's not going to get that second lap in, unfortunately. Just a few hundred yards short. Matt Crockett says, have a great broadcast. Thank you, Matt. Do appreciate that. We're not going to wait too far, though. We're going to get right to our starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 40.621 seconds. It's the 315 of Zach Millen. Outside front row, it's the 13 of Joe Tucker and the number 13 machine. He's 78 thousandths shy of Zach Millen. Starting in row number 2, it's Drew Blaze and Matt Crockett with Rocket Mountain Racing. Row number 3, it's Drew Prowl and Brian Rose. Dana Shepard in the number 44 will start 7th with Dustin Rogerson to his outside in the 8th position. 9th starter, it's Ken Couch in the 08. Chris Goins in the number 41 will roll off from 10th. Chris Klein in the 18 from Numb Thumbs Racing, he'll start 11th. Jesse Redding, the number 21. Holler Boys Race and Entry will start 12th. 13th starter is John Tiller from Fueled Up Motorsports. Alfie Charon Jr. will start 14th. Dan Storm, the number 81, rolls 15th. PJ Cox, 16th. 17th starter, it's going to be Shane Miller, the number 22. Darren Jones rolls 18th. 19th goes to Josh Kelleher from DEP Racing. Got out of the track just a tick too late to get 2 laps in qualifying. Nick Kolakowski, an old name but a familiar one. He'll start 20th. Johnny DePasquale, the 42, rolls 21st. Sean Roberts, 22nd. Scott Beardmore will start 23rd with Nathan Line unable to get a clean lap in qualifying. He'll start 24th on the field. It's your starting grid here for the Auto Club Speedway 125 Lone Star Racing Cup Series. Going green here momentarily. So once again, Zach Millett, as his penalty for the season, will have to start from pit lane. So Joe Tucker will move up on the outside lane, and I believe that'll move Drew Blaze up into the front. So we got Lisa says, Sperling got me hooked on watching it. I love it. Lisa, thank you very much. Chris Stange says, ran a few laps with team fueled up practice, and these drivers have their hands full tonight. Yes, indeed. It's going to be a tough one. And Caleb Sisk says, this is the home of the best broadcast. Well, I do appreciate the tail end kissing there, Caleb, but yeah, we do okay. I don't know if we're the best, but we try. Thank you, though. Weather details coming into the green flag here. Air temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 20% humidity, partly cloudy skies, and a 100-degree Fahrenheit track temperature. That has come down a bit. We are on variable weather conditions here tonight. 13-mile-per-hour breeze. That has not subsided at all. We'll see if that gets better or worse later on. We'll check it at some point or another. Field rolling through turns 3 and 4. Pace car getting ready to hit pit road. And here we are out of turn number 4. Pace car lights are off. Makes the hard left into pit road. We wait for Drew Blaze to lead the field to green. Barney with the flag in hand.
Green flag.
And there's the call. Green flag in the air. We're racing from Auto Club Speedway. Blaze across the stripe, lap 1 in the books. I don't know, somehow I missed a whole lap. I must be losing my mind. Either way, Drew Blaze with the lead out of turn number 2. Drew Prell in second. It's the Drew and Drew show for the time being. Joe Tucker in the third, was third, now fourth. Matt Crockett putting on the pressure. Crockett really loose off turn number 2. He saves the car. It's turn number 4, that is. He's going to lose some positions here, some track position. He's going to get gobbled up here by Brian Rose and the 08 of Ken Couch as well as he starts to slip. Now he's going to regain that pace back into turns 1 and 2. Still clean out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Brian Rose now trying to hold off the charge from Crockett. Matt gets back around the 89 up the racetrack, but he pounds the outside wall. Crockett not having a good start to this race. He was real loose a moment ago, saved the race car, but now he hits the outside wall off of turn number 4. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze still out in front, about a 10th ahead of Drew Prell. Oh, we got trouble in the back of the pack. Yellow is out. We got a spinner. It was Nick Kolakowski in trouble on the backstretch, the 122 facing the wrong direction. Car still rolling, able to get back in this. He'll stay on the lead lap, but trouble early here at Auto Club Speedway. Caleb says, Mama Sis going to be sad you're not carrying the Monday night series. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, IROC has been good to us. Of course, their season rather long, goes into June, and they did pick up the option there for Season 3, or actually it's Season 9 for them, but Season 3 for us covering. But with that, let's get a look here what happened here, our first yellow flag of the evening. Oh, Kolakowski started to come up the racetrack, wasn't quite clear. Didn't catch who clipped him. We'll get another look at this from another angle. Yeah, I want to try and get a look to see who exactly it was. I want to go on the roof cam and see how close it was. It seemed very close. I think it's the 3 of Darren Jones. Yes, it was. Yeah, and there you have it. Certainly not intentional, but he just wasn't clear. It was close. But, I don't know, too early to be taking chances like that. You don't want to get hooked like you did and end up in the fence, and then it's just a bad race for you after that. One faster pair is available for these drivers here tonight. He may have taken it. I'm not sure. The car didn't look that bad. Interestingly enough, a lot of drivers on pit road here. Certainly nobody for fuel. I'm sorry, nobody for tires. Fuel only, I would imagine, for all of these drivers. So first caution in the books here at Auto Club Speedway. Now, I gotta say, if you remember back to the Michigan race, that was a doozy. That was a fun one to watch. And again, this track, designed and built to be somewhat of a clone to Michigan Speedway. With that said, I'm sure we're going to see some action here tonight. But the tracks are not perfectly the same by comparison. Again, just geographically, Michigan, of course, being in the Irish Hills of Michigan, experiences significantly different weather patterns as far as summer, winter, fall, that sort of thing. But here in Fontana, being in SoCal, weather doesn't change a ton. Track surface does change quite a bit between the two of them. But I still expect we'll have a pretty good race here. Again, with all that said, though, what you're seeing here on your screen, it's all in the virtual world after they scan the racetrack. In the real world, this track is, I think, still in the process of being torn down in favor of a very short half-mile short track that will eventually occupy effectively the tri-oval of this racetrack. Whether that actually happens remains to be seen. There seems to be a lot of question marks surrounding that. I'd love to see it. Southern California market for NASCAR certainly very important to them. But I'd rather it run on a little half mile in Fontana versus, well, a football stadium. That's just my opinion. Caleb says, don't be humble about it. You have the best product, and I'm not sponsored to say so. Be proud. It's the best. You must got some really good chapstick on your lips there tonight, Caleb. I appreciate it, man. I do. Pace car is in for the restart. Drew Blaze has the advantage as the control car as we come to the restart zone. He fires off. Drew Prail waits. Doesn't get a good jump. Ryan Rose all over the back bumper. He's going to try and push the 80. He does so. Now he's got the 13 of Joe Tucker to his inside. And here we go. Look how much space we have. Drew Prail making a move to the outside. Had a good run through turns 1 and 2. Gets alongside Drew Blaze. Off turn number 2. It's going to be a drag race down the back straightaway. Blaze loses not only the lead, but a handful of spots. He slips back to 5th. Drew Prail completes the pass, at the start-finish line. New leader, lap number 9, Drew Prahl. Now he switches lanes, goes up the racetrack to block the advance from Jesse Redding. Redding goes high on the racetrack, so does Brian Rose, sticks with him. Alfie Sharon there in the mix as well. Alfie's up 10 positions already. A lot of this having something to do with pit stops as well. Some drivers opting to take some early fuel here to try and make it a little bit further, get off cycle with everybody else. Jesse Redding a little loose off turn number 4, keeps it straight, still tucked in behind Drew Prahl. Jesse Redding with a run, goes up the racetrack, going to try and make a move here for the race lead out of turn number 2, very similar to what Drew Prahl did a moment ago. Prahl tried to close the door, but got there a little bit late. Side by side now, a nose in front. Jesse Redding into turn number 3. Can't get clear, had the lead for a moment. Will he have the momentum out of turn 4 this time? Drives it in a little further. You see the differential from top to bottom. A lot more speed and momentum out of turn number 4 for Jesse Redding as he takes over the top spot. The race lead here, new leader. Now lap 11 goes up on the board. Battle for the 3rd position, Alfie Sharon and Brian Rose going at it. Gets clear of Brian Rose and move Sharon into P3, up 11 spots. Same can be said for Jesse Redding. He's up 11 positions as well. Drew Prahl still hanging tight to the back bumper of the 21. Turn number 3, Drew Prahl trying to get it back, and he does. Goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Jesse Redding stays up top side. Going to have a run out of turn number 4, but what's he going to do with it? Prahl closes the door. Coming back to the start-finish line. Redding tucks right to the back bumper. Pulling a bit of a draft off the 80. Might take a look to the inside down to turn number 1, but no. Chooses to stay in line. Knows that Alfie Sharon is just a car length and a half off the back bumper. Redding goes way up the racetrack once again. He's going to have a huge run out of turn number 2. Will Prahl defend aggressively? He does. Closes the door again. Meanwhile, Alfie Sharon has closed the gap considerably here behind Jesse Redding. It's a car length into turn number 3. Continue to watch this fight. I don't know if Prahl's trying to force Redding up the racetrack. Just a groove above the common line on the low side that a lot of these guys are running. You got to wonder if he's trying to force Redding up there to burn up his tires. So far, it's working. Prahl maintaining the top spot. Redding going up top, going back to the well again. Climbing that ladder, the high side of the racetrack. Out of turn number 2, still can't get alongside the 80. Maintains the 2nd position as Prahl carries the field down the back straightaway. Right on board with Drew Prahl from the race lead as Jesse Redding still gets into the wall off turn number 4, just a light scrape. Don't think it hurt the car too much, but it slowed his momentum. About a car length now, the gap between himself and the race lead. Alfie Sharon trying to pounce and take advantage. He's right there to the back bumper. Redding now changes up lanes, tucks in behind Drew Prahl, gets back to the gas a little earlier than Prahl as he backed up his corner. You can see the damage on the right front nose of the 21. Redding not being bashful. He's right there once again as Alfie Sharon jumps to the inside. He's going to take the 2nd spot. Oh, now Prahl's going to worry about up and down. Oh, contact! We got a wreck out of turn 4. Prahl spins off of turn 4. Doesn't look like he's going to hit anything, but that's a tough break for the 80 of Prahl as he was leading. Alfie Sharon made contact with the 80. We were on board. We'll have to get a better look at it to see how that one happened. Now, if I'm Prail right here, this is where I'm going to make my pit stop. Whether or not, I mean, you're already going to be at the back of the field. You might as well. "16 laps in, second caution of the night. Man, it's been action-packed already, and I'm already out of breath." Now, Prowl gets back out there. Well, let's get a look at it. Already happening at this point. See if this is a better angle. I'm not real sure. Prowl was looking at Redding, looking at Alfie, trying to figure out where to go. And I don't know if Alfie just lost the bottom and slid the nose up into the left rear of Drew. Tell you, Alfie's lucky that Drew didn't clip his right rear and send the 9 up the racetrack. This will show it. Actually, Drew was starting to get a little bit loose, but the opposite problem for Alfie is he was tight coming up the racetrack. Spins Prowl out, sends him right into pit lane. I don't know if he got woed up in time to avoid the black flag for speeding or unsafe entry. That's automatic with iRacing. Not a whole lot you can do about it other than clearing it after the fact. I want to try and look at this from the onboard of Alfie Charon. We'll go in car with Alfie. Quarter speed. Roof cam. It's probably a better angle. Yeah, you see Alfie just lost the bottom. So some things have changed here at the front of the field. Dustin Rogerson now is your race leader. He made a pit stop at lap 5. He stays on the racetrack during this caution. Everybody else up and down pit road, they made their stop. Again, looks like fuel only for most of the drivers. Matt Crockett possibly took tires, 15.2 seconds. Certainly the right amount of time for a 4-tire and fuel pit stop. Maybe some repairs. Not sure the situation there with Crockett for the time being. Drew Prowl's going to hit pit road. Same thing for Drew, just going to top off the fuel here. So here we go. Pace car lights are out. Field doubled up, ready for the restart. Rogerson's going to lead him back to the green flag. Pace car is in. Ryan Rose to the outside. Millett from the pit lane already up into the top 5.
Green flag.
Fires off. Rogerson may have jumped there. I don't know if he hammered that throttle before he got into the zone or not, but nevertheless, he's off and running. Gets the jump over Zach Millett. Millett running in the second position now. Very quickly gets around Brian Rose and Alfie Charon. And just like that, Zach Millett to the race lead. Now he's got pressure from Rogerson battling back on the outside. Rogerson not willing to go quietly. 23 still working the top side of the racetrack. Millett down low. Can't tuck in behind because Brian Rose is to his right elbow. Down the back straightaway, a drag race now between Millett and Rose. Rose having the assist of the draft from Rogerson. Millett has to tuck back in behind the 89 in third. Alpicher in fourth, Redding in fifth. Notable Chris Goins in P6 through Blaze. Seventh, Couch eighth. Ninth is Chris Klein. Joe Tucker running in the 10th spot. Shadows getting a little bit longer here in the California sun as it is getting later in the day. Checking on that weather conditions once again. Still 86 degrees, but track temp continues to fall. It's 98 degrees. Remember, when we started the session here tonight, it was about 114 degrees Fahrenheit. Things getting cooler. It means a little bit longer tire life. Remember, they've only got one set over the wall here tonight. Now Brian Rose inches out in the front of the field. He leads that lap, but Millett back on the attack, taking a peek to the inside, but thinks better of it. Backs off a bit, goes topside. He's going to try and build a run out of turn number 2. See if he can make that run down the backstretch, make it pay to turn 3. Gets to the bottom of the racetrack, completes the pass on Brian Rose. Does Brian have any more challengers? He might. Alfie Charon taking another peek to the inside, unable to make a move there, so move Brian back to second. HBR drivers top 3, then there's 5th, then there's 6th, and some swapping of positions there in there as well. Jesse Redding in the 5th spot, fighting with Chris Goins. Millett, your new race leader once again, down the back straightaway unchallenged, but now a battle for the 2nd spot. Brian Rose, Alfie Charon, side by side down the back stretch into turn number 3. Charon goes way to the bottom of the racetrack, slides back up in front of Brian Rose, takes the spot away, move Charon to P2. Now the challenge from Chris Goins is coming. Goins running in 4th, right to the back bumper of Brian Rose. Cross start finish, 25 laps in the books. Just about 1/3 distance here from the Auto Club Speedway. Now Alfie Charon takes over the top spot, gets by Zach Millett. I feel like this is becoming a trend here at these speedways. The 2-mile ovals seem to be the best place for this next-gen Cup car. It almost runs like a super speedway, but not quite. A lot of change of position. The draft certainly comes into play, and we're seeing that now. Now the top 5, all HBR. It's Charon, Millett, Rose, Goins, and Redding. Now Blaze takes over the 5th spot. He jumps up there to the inside of Jesse Redding. Not able to get clear in the 21. Blaze still fighting to the inside. Once Once again, a battle for the race lead. Zach Millett taking a peek to the inside on the bottom of the racetrack, but Sharon's still going to have that run out of turn number 2, carry that momentum down the backstretch. Gones still to the inside. Millett still to the inside of Alfie Charon off turn number 4. Coming back to the stripe, Charon's still going to lead that lap. How long will they run side by side? That's the case for the top 4. Now, Drew Blaze running in 5th. He takes a look to the inside on Chris Gones. He wants the 4th spot. He may have it 3 wide. 4th through 3rd. 5th through 3rd, going the other way, but Blaze, he's going to pick up a 2-for-1 special here down the back straightaway and get this pass completed. No drafting help, though, for the 1. He may need to settle back in behind Chris Gones or Zach Millett, for that matter. Oh, he slides up just a bit. I don't know if Gones just reacted or had a little bit of net code there, but he slides up the racetrack just a bit, keeps his foot in it. Blaze maintains the 5th position while Joe Tucker jumps into P6. 7th is Couch, 8th is Redding, Klein 9th, 10th is Nathan Line. Still a battle for the top spot. Alfie Charon has it, still working the outside line. Millett to the bottom out of turn number 2. Field working into turn number 3. Once again, 29 laps are on the board, about to finish up lap 29. Charon maintains the top spot. Now, Brian Rose working to the outside of Zach Millett. While Millett's not paying any attention to 3rd place, he wants that race lead from teammate Alfie Charon. Three wide for the 2nd position. It's Gones, Millett, and Rose. Shows you how much room there really is here at Auto Club Speedway. Down the backstretch, Charon still with the race lead. Millett slips back to the 4th spot. Rose with a big run down the back straightaway. Battle for 3rd. It's Gones and Millett. Millett trying to figure out what he needs to do to get around these guys. You got a guy like Zach Millett. He's so fast everywhere we go. A place like this in Daytona and Talladega, you honestly need a little bit of help in the draft to get these passes completed, unless you just get a perfect run out of the corner down the straightaway. Not working out right now for Zach Millett as he runs in the 4th position. Alfie Charon leads. It's Brian Rose in 2nd. Still, we watch the battle for the 3rd spot between Gones, Millett, and even Drew Blaze into this mix. Brian Rose real loose off of turn number 4. It's going to slow him just enough to give an opportunity to Zach Millett. A bit of a bump down the tri-oval here. Millett pushes the 89, tries to rebuild his momentum. Didn't take advantage. He stays tucked in behind. Rose slides up the racetrack. Now Drew Blaze back to the bottom of the racetrack. He's battling out for the 2nd position. Might get 2 out of this. They're close quarters off turn number 2. Ooh, that was close. Blaze now in the 4th position on the racetrack, not clear of anybody. Tucks back in behind Zach Millett in the entry to turn number 3. Again, folks, 32 to 36 laps, the fuel window here tonight. Drivers made their pit stops at lap 16, so break out the calculators. Do your own math, figure out when these guys are going to start coming down and hit pit road under the green flag here. We've been clean and green for a while. A couple of cautions to start this off, but as LSR has proven, they can clean things up rather quickly. As we got a battle for the top spot again. No, Millett tucks back in behind Alfie Charon. Some other battles on the racetrack right now. We watch Chris Klein battling with Ken Couch. This for the 7th position. Klein to the inside in that black and red number 18. Again to the inside. Big lift out of Chris Klein there. Lost the nose. Little arrow push in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Tucks back in behind Ken Couch. Klein maintains the 8th position. Bit of a run into turn 3. Does he have enough to do anything with it? No. Couch goes back to the bottom. Stays tucked in behind Brian Rose. Rose has slipped back to P6. We have a change for the top spot as well. Zach Millett has gone around Alfie Charon. Charon tucks in behind, carries the draft. Drew Blaze up to 3rd, Goins 4th, Tucker 5th. And we got crazy action here at Auto Club Speedway. Let's try and get a look at that pass for the lead just a moment ago. If I can find it anywhere here, that would be brilliant. And here it is, just a moment ago, the pass for the race lead. Millett just gets to the bottom. Alfie slides up the racetrack. Millett just cleanly completes the pass out of turn number 2. 37 laps complete. We're just about halfway here from Auto Club Speedway. Zach Millett leads. Charon 2nd. Drew Blaze runs in the 3rd spot. 4th is Chris Goins. Joe Tucker runs 5th. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Auto Club Speedway, a change from the top spot. Drew Blaze has cleared Zach Millett. Millett still right there trying to fight back, about a 10th off the back bumper of the one as they go down the back straightaway here, lap 43. Millett taking a look to the inside, not enough to make a run just yet. Back to start finish, 44th lap of the race goes up on the board. This one's clicking by in a hurry. Car length maybe 1.5 back to the 315 as the top two work through turns 1 and 2. A little wiggle from Drew Blaze, a couple of wiggles up the racetrack trying to save the car. He didn't lift at all. He just steered out of it, kept it out of the wall as well, but Millett gained a little bit of ground on the racetrack, but gives it all up on the entry to turn 3, but back to the throttle, gains a ton in the middle of 3 and 4. Top two starting to put some distance on the rest of this field. They know that they gotta go. These two have been, I wouldn't say bitter rivals the last year or so, last couple of years throughout the seasons, whether it's here in LSR or Knoll Bull or otherwise, but it's been quite the rivalry between these two drivers. You get them close together, especially when you're battling for the top spot. Neither one of them wants to lift, doesn't want to give. They want to beat the other. That's just the way it goes with these two guys. A little bit of contact. Just a little bump. Say, yeah, I'm here. Don't forget about me. Millett taking a peek to the inside again. To the inside, Blaze up the racetrack. He's still going to have the run out of the corner. Millett's clear. And truthfully, I got to say, that was actually a very smart move on the behalf of Drew Blaze. Yes, he was able to get up there, lead some laps, but Millett got right to the back bumper, took the lead back. Drew was very smart to continue to fight that battle. Save the tires, save the race car for later on in this race. It's lap 47, it's not lap 74. It's not time to push with all that you've got. It takes a lot of discipline to do that. Blaze content to ride in behind Zach Millett. He can save a little bit of fuel in the draft as well. Not to mention the tire savings, not having to fight with the 315. Back in the third position, Chris Goins. Challenge coming from Brian Rose and Alfie Sharon. Nathan Line up in the mix as well. Correction, John Tiller up in the mix. It's Jesse Redding hits pit road. There's that math we talked about. Redding coming down pit road here at lap 48. Redding went about 32 laps under the green flag after his last pit stop for fuel. Again, we expected 32 to 36. 36 at the absolute maximum distance if you're able to save the entire run. Redding spent some time out in front, so savings not likely what he was doing at this point. Back out on the racetrack, finishes up the pit stop. 15:42 was the time. And drivers taking tires at this point, knowing that only one set left. It's going to carry them to the end of this race with about 26 and a half laps to go. Back out front, it's Millet and Blaze. Lap 50 goes up on the tower. We'll see which one of these drivers pulls off to pit first. That's going to be the question mark. A lot of other drivers now. John Tiller, Chris Klein, Johnny DePasquale, Scott Beardmore, Darren Jones. So we got Nick Kolakowski, Ken Couch. They're all up and down pit road, but we're going to stay on this battle for the top position. Millet has it for now. Blaze, a car length, maybe a car length and a half off the back bumper. It's definitely in that range of green flag pit stops, and here they both come. Down pit lane, final pit stops of the day for the race leaders, Zach Millet and Drew Blaze. Chris Goins is going to come down. Brian Rose, Alfie Charon, Nathan Line, Josh Kelleher, Matt Crockett. Who stays out? Nobody. Everybody comes down. Final pit stops with 25 laps to go here from Auto Club Speedway. Green flag pit stops underway. Zach Millet has made a living getting out, in and out of pit lane. Drew Blaze certainly not shabby at all. Right side tire change for Blaze. Does he go two only? No. 4 tires and Sunoco Racing fuel for both Zach Millet and Drew Blaze. Drops the jack. Millet down and away. Blaze hot on his trail. Here comes Darren Jones as well. Jones running in the 20th position, not on the lead lap presently. So Millet rejoins the race here as the leader. Just about everybody pit roughly about the same time. Millet and Blaze able to go 34 laps on their fuel run. So there you have it. Once again, Millet and Blaze, your top two, separated by a half second. John Tiller back in third. He's 6.5 back. Some information for the Fueled Up Motorsports Group. Johnny DePasquale up 17 positions, currently running in the 4th spot. 15.05 second pit stop, lap 49. Again, his final of the afternoon. Everybody's good to go on fuel. Everybody's good to go on tires because they only had one set over the wall. And there's the caution. Darren Jones in trouble and quickly in pit lane.
I think we need to start putting like an age limit on racing or something, you know?
Let's see what happened here to the 3. This is just past start finish. Catching it a little bit late here. Not sure exactly what happened. We'll rewind it. Looks like Jones may have caught the wall out of turn 4, or was he trying to get to pit lane? I think he just got real loose. Pounds the outside wall. Unfortunate for Darren Jones, but he does a great job just keeping it up topside. Still draws the caution, but nobody else collects the 3. Did a really good job staying up there. Little self-sacrifice for the 3. So, all this really does is it groups everybody back up. So, remember that excitement we had early on in the race? Well, I think we're getting ready to double it. Things about to get crazy. If it wasn't already. So with that, we're going to take a quick opportunity here to get a break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Back at Auto Club Speedway, getting ready to settle this one here. It'll be 19 laps to go when we get back to the green flag. Billett's going to lead him down. Drew Blaze to the outside. He hangs back about a quarter car length from the 315, waiting for him to jump.
Green flag, green flag.
In the air. Millet gets the good restart. Not a great reaction time, or really a preemptive reaction time for Drew Blaze, as John Tiller gets to the inside, looking for that second spot. Johnny DePasquale in the 42 looking to do the same. Blaze loses the second position, might lose third here. The battle is on for the third position. It's Blaze and DePasquale out of turn number 2. Still side by side through 3 and 4. Blaze, DePasquale at the bottom. Joe Tucker coming into this mixture as well in the 5th spot. Millet checking out a half-second advantage with 18 laps to go over John Tiller. Now Tiller in that second position. He's got pressure coming from the one of Blaze. A couple car lengths between the two, but Blaze was right there on the entry to turn number 1. Brian Rose in trouble as well. Computer having an issue. He has unfortunately exited the session, and he is listed in 22nd. His race is unfortunately over. Millet still out in front. Tiller up 11 spots, running in second. Let's see if Blaze can reel him in. Oh, some battling in there in the back of the pack. Not even the back of the pack. It's for 5th place. Chris Klein pushes Tucker up the racetrack off turn number 4. Manages to stay out in front. He stays there, clears the 13, but Nathan Line coming into the mix as well. He tried to take advantage, was unable to complete the pass on the 18. Out of turn number 2, real loose is Chris Klein. He's going to give up a couple of spots here trying to save the race car. He does save it, but he's going to lose a few positions. Now Chris Goins going on by. Klein goes from 5th to 8th, might lose 8th here in a minute as Alfie Sharon is putting on the pressure. Millet out in front now, 0.4 of a second. Tiller is closing in. Millet unchallenged for the time being with less than 16 laps to go. Tiller in that second position. He's closed the gap a little bit, but unable to get too much closer. I don't know if the arrow is having an effect on that, but now he's trying to hold off the one of Drew Blaze. Blaze in a very tight points battle with Zach Millet. Wants to try and get every point he can here. Season starting to wind down here in the Lonestar Racing Cup Series presented by AMCO Transmissions. Still the battle down for the second spot. We got trouble in the back of the pack. Jesse Redding, I think, is around. Ken Couch makes hard impact to the inside wall. We stay under green. No, caution now comes out.
Lap one time real quick.
Couch remains stationary. Redding's going to drive away. 4th caution of the afternoon with 14 laps to go. It was 15 at the time of the incident. Let's see what happened here just a moment ago. Trying to get a better look on this one. Looks like Couch got in the fence on his own. Car started to get loose on the bottom of the racetrack. He tried to save it, chases it up the racetrack on exit. Overcorrection. Pounds the wall, and really nowhere for Jesse Redding to go. Looks like Nick Kolakowski was right there as well. He gets away clean, drives away. So our 4th caution of the afternoon coming late here. It's going to be 13 laps to go. Drew Prale led some laps early. He's going to get the wave around here. Jesse Redding going to hit pit road. Jesse had a good run going earlier as well. Uses the fast repair, still had that one handy. He's not out of this one yet. I think his chances at a win have gone out the window, but he can still salvage a solid finish. There's plenty of racing left. He's got a fresh repair done. Back out front, we still work behind the iRacing pace car, still with the lights on. I don't know if we'll get the one to go this time by. I think we might, which would put us at 11 laps to go for the restart. want to go back to this here for just a moment. Go in car with Jesse Redding to see what it looked like from his perspective. We'll back it up a little further. At full speed, too. Yeah, there's just no way Jesse could have avoided that one. Couch was right in that blind spot for a moment. And that was right when he was trying to save the car. Overcorrected right in the path of Jesse Redding. So field working the backstretch here with 12 to go. Pace car lights are out, so we will indeed get the restart here with 11 to go. It's going to be Millet, Tiller, Tucker, Blaze, and Gones. Right now, Joe Tucker with the fastest lap of the race at a 40.48. Man, you'd think Mike Tucker was in the car with that kind of pace. Though Alfie Charon fastest so far, 40.35.
Flag.
And there it is, green flag in the air. 11 laps to go from Auto Club. Now Drew Blaze, the beneficiary of not being the second place car on the restart. Thought he had an opportunity there. He was alongside Tiller for a moment, but Tiller looks like he got out of there a little bit better on this restart. Blaze tucks in behind the third place machine of Joe Tucker. Coming to 10 laps to go. Millet still out in front. We continue to watch the battle for the second spot. Joe Tucker to the inside. Tiller trying to fight back. Tucker up the racetrack. Millet really putting the pace down here at Auto Club Speedway here. Less than 9 laps to go. He's got a half-second advantage on the rest of the field. Joe Tucker now up into the second position. John Tiller running third. Drew Blaze right there as well. Coming to 8 laps to go. Both drivers going to work around the 13 here, or at least try to. Tiller goes to the bottom alongside the 13 of Tucker. One car in the wall off turn number 2. I think it was PJ Cox scraping the right sides on the turn number 2. Continues on, no issues. Still the battle now. Drew Blaze gets past John Tiller for the second spot. Tiller running third. Di Pasquale fourth. Joe Tucker running fifth. Oh, close quarters battle here. Tucker and Di Pasquale going at it. Almost some contact. If not, it was awfully close. On to turn 2. Charon will cross up with Chris Gones as well. Pasquale now looking to the bottom on Joe Tucker, trying to take the spot. Alfie Charon closing in as well. Millett still out in front. 0.2 of a second, the advantage over Drew Blaze. Blaze reeling in the 3:15, 6 laps to go. We're going to have a fight all the way to the finish, I think. Oh, we got somebody spinning.
Caution.
And there it is, a caution late.
Okay, quickly tell
PJ
me what you
Cox
think they
facing
have
the
there.
wrong direction here with 6 laps to go. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That puts us in a situation, doesn't it? Well, let's get a look at it. What happened here with the 05 of PJ Cox just a moment ago. Drew Prell gets into the left rear. Not a major crash by any means, but definitely hurts the 05. So with less than 5 laps to go, we are under caution once again. We may get this one restarted before we go into NASCAR overtime, to which there is 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. So stand by. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Signal I need to cut across 8 lane. None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody
Speedway getting ready for a restart here. It'll be 2 laps to go and we take the green flag. One comment in the stream chat with Fear Gaming says, Millett is the Verstappen of this league. And while that may seem, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but think about this. This is a fixed setup series. They all run identical cars with identical setups. So with Verstappen, he does have the benefit of Red Bull behind him. In this case, it's driver versus driver with equal cars, equal setups. Just really goes to show you the talent behind the wheel of that 315. But I'll tell you, the guy in that number 1 and the 27, really even the 42 and the 13, they've all got the potential there. They could steal a win from that 315 in any given race. It's happened before, it can happen again. laps to go. Here it'll be 2 laps remaining when they get to start finish. So we have ourselves a natural green-white checkered finish. This just does not count towards our allotment of green-white checkered finishes. It's the real deal. Pace car about to make the hard left down pit road. Zach Millett leads him to green. Blaze in a bad spot here, starting outside front row. He's going to have to guess when Millett's going to fire off here. Let's see what he does.
Green flag.
Millett goes. Good reaction by Blaze. Not perfect, but he can tuck down in behind if he wants. He does just that. Field barreling down into turn number 1. 2 laps to go from Auto Club Speedway. Tiller putting on the pressure. So is Joe Tucker to the outside. Turn number 2 looks clean so far. Everybody gets through it okay. Millett still out in front. The battle for the second spot. Joe Tucker now up into that position. Drew Blaze was third, but now he's got pressure from Alfie Charon. Charon to the inside. Zach Millett out of turn 4, across start finish here, white flag, final lap here from Auto Club Speedway. Drew Blaze with a big run out of turn number 4, gets in behind Joe Tucker, dives into the bottom of the racetrack. Tucker's going to stay up top. Alfie Charon there in the mix as well. Continue to watch this fight for the second position. Millett starting to check out as they battle. Drew Blaze takes the second spot from Tucker. Move the 1 up into P2. Tucker remains third. Who can make the pass? Charon is right there as well. Taking a look, maybe some contact. Oh, there's a little bit of contact, all 3 of them, and oh, Tucker, hard impact to the outside wall. Charon slides up into the second spot, but it doesn't matter. Coming to the stripe, checkered flag is in the air. Zach Millett wins it at Auto Club. Zach Millett, your race winner. Second place, Alfie Charon. John Tiller was third. Deepest quality coming in, giving Millett a little congratulations. Chris Goins coming in, Nathan Line. Zach Millett parking it in victory lane, or does he? No, he's got to back it up. And there it is. Millett parks it in Gatorade victory lane. We're going to step aside, get our break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
signal I need to cut across 8 lane. None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody
Back at Auto Club Speedway, Zach Millett taking home the checkered flag. We'll pull the driver of the 315 up to the broadcast booth and get a word with our winner. Zach, it's Steve with HBR TV. Got a copy?
Hey, Steve, got a copy.
Zach, congratulations, man. Pole position, race win. I don't know if you got most laps led or fastest laps. We'll check that one later on. But walk us through your race. One set of tires available over the wall as far as a change set is concerned. So that factors into the decision-making process when it comes to pits. What was the plan coming into tonight, knowing you only had one set? And then what did you do there as far as the rest of the race was concerned? It seemed to check out on everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know. We put in some practice for this race. We didn't know what the tire wear was going to be like. It's usually pretty excessive tire wear, but having only one set made it pretty interesting. We kind of came up with the idea that as long as we're easy on the tires that first stint, it'll kind of reward you. You know, at the end, they're not going to be burnt off completely. The cautions just kind of fell perfectly, Steve, I tell you. I mean, we got really lucky there. Not only with the first one to kind of, catch up with the field and have everything restacked, but that second caution around lap 15 was everything. That really let us play the race backwards, kind of road course style, get our gas. We knew we were good for one stop after that, and it basically came down to whenever we felt like, taking those tires and just trying not to take them too early. And we felt like the 20-25 lap mark was like perfect to go full sprint on those tires without killing them.
Well, you and Drew Blaze made that pit stop at about lap 50. You took those tires and fuel. You went about 34 laps. That was a little bit more than the minimum of that fuel run. We expected 32 to 36. Was there any kind of fuel conservation? It's not something we really talked about a whole lot tonight.
No, there really wasn't. I don't know. I tried it a couple times in a practice, and I could save maybe 3 laps. I mean, this place is massive. It's just so hard to even save a lap. And it was only about 0.03 difference of, clutching in both corners and saving it at the max. So it wasn't really worth it. We were going to be that shy. Even if you took a 34 run, still not going to get you to 75. So we were just kind of hoping for that caution, and it really changed the race for us. That was the key moment.
We saw some instances during the race where you really did need to battle. We saw Drew Blaze take the position from you. It wasn't very long before you took it back, but you didn't seem to have typical Zach Millett pace here tonight. You had to earn this one. How was it out there as far as fending guys off and then trying to steal those positions back?
Oh, it's hard, man. I mean, these cars are just so, I don't know, aero dependent, I guess, most more than anything, really. Drew was really fast tonight. I knew he's always fast on these big tracks, man. Well, he's fast everywhere, but he was definitely fast here tonight. I was pretty content to just, line right up behind him and make some pace. We actually put a pretty big gap on the rest of the field there. We came out of the pits, and we had about maybe 5.5 seconds on everybody else. So I was talking to him when that caution came out. Man, I really hope it. I really wish it didn't come out. We could have just, rode 1-2 right to the finish, and would have been great.
Well, it is what it is. You end up with the checkered flag here nonetheless. Looking forward to next week. We're at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. That place, rough and tumble, choose up tires. I know it's kind of your wheelhouse. How do you feel about your opportunities there to go yet again another win at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway next week?
I don't know, man. It's just going to be kind of the same plan we have every week. Save, and just try like hell to be there at the end and have a chance at it. If we can do that, then we'll do everything we can. We got the best teammates out here, so it makes it easy with those guys to play strategy and kind of try to do the right thing every week.
Well, Zach, congratulations once again. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Steve, I got to thank you and HBR TV for broadcast, HBRTV1.com, Track Bar Media, Brian Rose, hbrshops.com. Subscribing to my channel, ignore that. Castle Products, Brandon Minnick Trailers, big thanks to them for sponsoring us this season. Hopefully not gonna put him into having to take out a personal loan to rack up for these wins. LSR, all the admins, JJ, Drew Blaze, they put in a ton of work for this league, man. Every week they got a ton to do before and after the race. So big thanks to those guys for doing it so we can have fun every week. Again, all my great teammates over at HBR. Shout out to Alfie for getting a P2 at the end there. Everybody was really fast this week. It was great to bounce the strategies off everybody. Martin Sports, and let's see, Amco Transmissions, and shoot me a follow over on Twitch and YouTube at That Is 4 Guy.
Zach Millett, your race winner here at Auto Club Speedway. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we're going to pull the second place finisher, the teammate to Zach Millett. Alfie Charon will pull him up into the broadcast booth, and we want to hear his take on the incident coming out of turn number 4 on that last lap. Alfie, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
I got you, Steve. How you doing?
Alfie, we're doing well. Congratulations on a runner-up finish here at Auto Club Speedway. It wasn't for a lack of drama there in the final lap. Contact between you, Joe Tucker, and even Drew Blaze, all three of you guys trying to save it through the corner. You're almost all the way down to the apron. What did it look like out the windshield of that number 9 HBR TV machine?
I actually just got done writing to Drew Blaze, telling my side of it. I had an awesome run coming off of 2 with the draft from Tucker, and I was committed to going to the bottom. And as I'm going to the bottom, I see them both going. And we just all came together right there, and I feel bad, but I mean, we all went for the same lane on the track on the last lap. I mean, that's just hard race, and then great mentality by all of us trying to get to that bottom to try to keep the drivers behind us from getting that bottom run.
Well, it certainly paid off for you. Hopefully things continue that way. Next week, we go into Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old Atlanta Motor Speedway with that old wore-out pavement. Tires certainly going to be a premium there next week. How do you feel about your chances there? I know we're pretty good at saving tires at a lot of places, but that place, you don't even want to roll them down pit lane before you bolt them on the car because they're just going to annihilate the tires. Are you able to save enough there to keep up with these guys and maybe make it a top 5 or even a top 3 again next week?
I'm going to aim for a top 5 because since joining LSR, knock on wood, I haven't finished outside the top 5. I'm going to try to keep that rolling, but I mean, I got the best teammates out there to try to help me learn and practice on saving tires at that track. So, I mean, it's just going to be show up and hopefully I don't burn my tires up trying to stay in the top with these guys. I mean, there's a lot of tough competitors in this league, and it's been very tough trying to finish in the top 5 every week.
Well, Alfie, a strong run again here tonight. Some aggressive but brave moves here in the last couple of corners here at Auto Club. Congratulations again. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I just got to thank you for putting on all the broadcasts so everyone can go back and watch them and see Zach win. You know, it's always fun. But, you know, he puts a lot of practice in. He's one of the best. Got to thank all the LSR admins. Obviously, got to thank all my teammates, especially Zach, Gones, Jesse, even our associate Crystal. She's telling us to breathe that whole last time. Got to thank Track Bar Media, Castle Pack Power, Beatles Custom Car Carriers, That Is 4 Guy, HBRShops.com, HBRTV1.com, Amco Transmissions, and I just got to thank my fiance for always joining and helping us, making sure that we breathe and making sure we have a fun time racing at night when we do this.
All right, Alfie. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week in Atlanta.
Thank you.
It's Alfie Charon, your runner-up here at Auto Club. John Tiller is your third-place finisher. We'll try and pull the driver of the number 27 up into the broadcast booth. Third-place finisher for Fueled Up Motorsports, John Tiller. It's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, hey Steve, how you doing, buddy?
We're doing good, John. Congratulations, man. A solid run at the finish here. You qualified 13th. Made your way all the way up into the top 3 for a solid finish. You look strong out there, man. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, man. I mean, of course, we kind of dropped the ball in qualifying there and put ourselves in a hole. But with that being said, I knew today was going to be all about tire saving. and a little bit of fuel saving as well to see how long we could stretch. And so I just used that to my advantage, held in that draft. I was honestly, that first stint before the first caution come out, I was clutching in, just kind of keeping with the end of that draft. And of course that caution come out, man, that worked out perfect for all of us. Was able to come down and get that fuel. And that made it to where we could stretch it out to that one stop like we needed to. And from then on, it was just about tire saving for that first stint.
Well, speaking of tire savings, there's going to be a whole lot more of that next week out at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, something that I'm sure a lot of guys are looking forward to if they like trying to save tire. What's your take on the old Atlanta, especially in this next-gen Cup car next week?
Well, it's definitely going to be what we like to call tight loose. You're going to get a little tight in the center of the corner and loose off. I mean, it's going to be much like tonight. You're going to want to save as much tire as you can, but of course that tire wear is going to be twice as bad. So it's definitely going to be a conservative type race for sure.
Get ready for the cheese grater out at Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. John, again, congratulations, man. A solid top 3 finish here at Auto Club. Who do you want to thank before we let you get out of here?
Of course, I got to shout out my wife. Thank her. She puts up with me while I get on here and play like a big kid. Shout out to you, Steve, up in the booth. You do a great job, man, each and every week. Of course, I got to give a shout out to my fueled up teammates over there. You know, Johnny and Nathan both had a solid run tonight. Put all 3 fueled up cars in the top 5. So couldn't be happier for those guys. Of course, a big, huge shout out to all those sponsors: Admin Box, WJM Motorsports, New HD, Clark Heating and Air, McConey Setup Shop. I gotta shout out all those guys. Without them helping pay for the expenses of this sim, that's what keeps us going every week.
All right, John. Well, again, congratulations. A solid top 3 here at Auto Club. Good luck next week in Atlanta. Thanks for talking to us.
I appreciate you, Steve. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Take care, brother. John Tiller, your 3rd place finisher here at Auto Club Speedway. That's going to wrap up the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look at our race results. We talked to our top 3, Millett, Sharon, Tiller. Well, Johnny DePasquale finished in the top 5 and 4th. Nathan Lyon was 4th. Drew Blaze looked at a 2nd place finish, ended up in 6th there on that final couple of corners. Chris Goins was 7th. Josh Kelleher came home 8th. Dana Shepard was 9th. Jesse Redding salvaged a top 10. PJ Cox was 11th. Scott Beardmore came home in the 12th spot. Dustin Rogerson 13th. Drew Prail came home in the 14th position. 15th went to Shane Miller. Chris Klein came home in the 16th position. 17th finisher was Nick Kolakowski. Dan Storm was 18th. Matt Crockett, a strong run early, finishes 19th, last car on the lead lap. Joe Tucker, after that crash in 3 and 4, finishes in the 20th spot. Darren Jones, 21st. Ken Couch, 22nd. Brian Rose having a computer issue actually late in this race, 20 laps down in 23rd. Sean Roberts, start and park, finishes 24th. Thank you guys all for tuning in here tonight. We do appreciate that. Stream chat busy as always. Probably my busiest league as far as the stream chatters are concerned. And man, I do appreciate it. It is awesome to see. It makes it more fun. It's a win-win across the board. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Jason Blaney even chiming in. Fueled up! Cheering on his teammates there, finishing 3rd, 4th, and 5th here tonight at Auto Club. I'm sure Blaney will be back here soon. What a run. Congratulations to all the top 3 finishers, really everybody here in this Lonestar Racing Cup Series. It's been a blast to cover this season. It's just getting better here again. Tune in next week. Old Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be a blast to watch. A lot of tire strategy going to be at play there next week. If you haven't already done so, if you're watching the broadcast and you enjoyed what you saw tonight, click the like button. Help us out there. Share it if you're so inclined. And check us out also on the website, hbrtv1.com. We didn't get the live link posted up on the website tonight. I got home about 45 minutes before we went live. I haven't been here since Monday, so doing the best I can with that, but whatever. We missed one. We'll get the next one. That's going to wrap it up. Congratulations to Zach Millett on yet another race win here in the Lonestar Racing Cup Series. We'll see you guys on Monday when iRock Racing returns to HBR TV. Have a good night, folks.
You could hear the wind howling across the ocean, and the taste of the wine in the bus still in my my head, and the only wildfire was burning right beside me. And we had us a night I'll never forget. She was a 1960s Beach Boys song, and been living that dream all night long. Yeah, and that California sunrise, and that California sunrise, she took me to heaven and so much more, like nothing I've ever seen before. And that California sunrise, whoa, yeah. Pretty soon it was raining up in Seattle, and it sure was cold out in Colorado. Yeah, I was missing her kiss in the heat of Arizona. Been everywhere and nothing could compare. Yeah, to that one-of-a-kind trip I was on. Everything about her felt like home. Yeah, and that California sunrise, and that California sunrise, she took me to heaven and so much more, like nothing I've ever seen before. And that California sunrise, take me on back. Found her number in the pocket of my blue jeans, picked up the phone and let it ring. Said I'm counting down the miles back to you, babe. Yeah, I'm headed west on a big old jet plane, back to that California sunrise, that California sunrise. She took me to heaven and so much more, like nothing I've ever seen before. And that California sunrise, take me on back. That California sunrise, that California sunrise, that California sunrise, yeah, and that California sunrise.
Race control scoring has ended.